Hello everyone, welcome to a new reading. Today it seems like we have had a whole week of 17 videos, but that's not true, that's only 2. If everything goes as planned. But this time we're gonna have another friendship reading with 2 new and different 17 members. I'm saying that because I just realized that in this video we're going to do a friendship reading for S.Coups and Vernon, and then I realized that makes all of the hip hop team is at least 2 of their pairs are done, and I just went like, wow, interesting, cool. That's what happened in my head right now. Anyway, in this friendship reading, we're kind of just gonna jump into it, but basically we're gonna have these cards. One deck will be for Vernon, the other deck will be for S.Coups, and these 2 will be for their connection, pretty much. So yeah, let's just kind of jump into it. This one is the one that I always complain about the system that I have for it. So if you see me bitching and moaning about it, that's why. So the first card that we have is a card to represent their connection. And we have Hummingbird Spirit, be here now. Okay, well, I guess with this card, it kind of shows that the type of connection that they both have is one where they can both ground themselves and stay very present in like the moment they're in. We also have 3 colors that are kind of getting my attention, which is the red of the flowers, which is the root chakra, which is about grounding yourself, being in the material, physical world type of thing. Then we have green with the hummingbird, that is heart energy, so what you love, what makes you feel at home, what makes you feel safe and protected, that type of energy. And then we have a lot of purple, which could be the third eye. Yeah, it's more of like, I guess, like a violet type of color. So yeah, this card will be more about the third eye. So I do feel that the type of connection that they both have together is how to create a safe space where your higher chakras are connected to your lower chakras, creating a grounded, stable, and secure place. So I do feel that, okay, this one is kind of funny because when I was thinking of this video, I was like, oh, I don't think they have much of a friendship, as in like the conventional type of friendship of let's go out and eat, oh, how's your day going, what are your new hobbies, let's have hobbies together. I didn't think they have that type of relationship, and with this card I'm getting that that it kind of confirms what I was already suspecting, which is that they have more of a companionship type of relationship. So they help each other out well, but like I mentioned, it's not like a superficial type of friendship. I'm not saying that friendships can't be deep, but I do feel that this one goes a little bit deeper than what we just go like, oh, they get along. Friends. You know what I mean? Anyway, putting all that aside, let's see which card represents S.Coups. We have the Ace of Wands reversed. And let's see which card represents Vernon, which is the 4 of Wands reversed. There was another card, but we'll ignore it for now because I just want one. So the card that represents S.Coups, they both have wands and they're both reversed. So I do feel that it's difficult because right now I'm thinking of the red as the root chakra, but that's not what those cards are representing. They're just representing wands energy, so fire energy. With this Ace of Wands reversed, I feel that S.Coups this card represents S.Coups in this relationship, in the sense of someone that wants to take action but is constantly being pulled back somehow. So I do feel that it could show that it could be a good sign, as in trying not to be impulsive and reckless, and more of taking action in a more healthy and well thought out way. Like that could be it. But I also feel that it could represent that there's this this energy where he may feel like something's holding him back, or S.Coups may feel like he can't take action because something is on the way somehow, or it's difficult for him to start new things and start taking that action towards making that new beginning happen, that new chapter happen. Then the card that represents Vernon is the 4 of Wands reversed. So the 4 of Wands usually talks about home. It usually talks about grounding yourself because it's a number 4. Number 1 in this case is new beginnings. So with Vernon, I do feel that the fact that it's reversed, he may always feel like an outcast, or he may feel like out of place. I'm thinking of home as in like a starseed type of way. You know how they mentioned that starseeds are basically souls that came from out of Earth and they came here to help in whatever way that they see fit, right? So I do feel that with Vernon is that kind of energy. Like, even though he has a family and he has a house or like home in a physical sense, his soul never feels at home. That's kind of like the type of energy I'm getting with that Four of Wands reverse. Like, there's always something missing, or he's always journeying for something. But also the fact that we have the Four of Wands, it could be that card represents how Vernon is constantly trying to find a way to ground himself and be stable. Especially because I feel that his heart could be very guarded, or he feels like he can't be, like he can't even get in touch with his inner vulnerable side because of how guarded he has become, and that could represent that he is very blocked in this relationship, or they're both helping each other with those difficulties that they both have. We'll see what the other cards that we get. So let's see, the next card that we're getting is, how does S.Coups see Vernon? With his eyes. Okay, I'm kidding. Anyway, so we have the Queen of Swords. How does Vernon see S.Coups? We have the Five of Wands reversed. The fact that we have the Queen of Swords for S.Coups, it tells me that he sees Vernon as this strong Aquarius energy. So I do feel that the way that S.Coups sees Vernon is someone that is able to communicate what they're thinking, is very assertive, and by assertive I mean that whatever Vernon says, he means it. He's not playing around. It's not like Vernon is saying things between the lines. He's pretty straightforward and direct, and that's what this Queen of Swords says, like communicates. It also shows that S.Coups sees Vernon for who he is. Like, just whatever Vernon puts out there, that's what S.Coups sees. So he has no like undertones, if you catch my drift. Like, there's nothing else besides whatever Vernon presents. That's what S.Coups sees, and that's what he takes, basically. So this Queen of Swords also tells me that one of the things that S.Coups focuses a lot on with Vernon is the way that Vernon communicates. So the way that he thinks, the way that he processes information, the way that he communicates that in whatever shape or form Vernon decides to do that. That's something that S.Coups seems to really look at when he is like looking at Vernon. I don't know how to word that. Now, on the other hand, the way that Vernon sees S.Coups is the Five of Wands reverse. So I do feel that one of the things that I got right away was this fighter spirit. So I do feel that Vernon sees how S.Coups has this strong fighter spirit that is usually smothered somehow. Because I do feel that S.Coups is the type of person that, even though he has like this burning passion within him, I mean, as a Leo, and also this fire that is ready to just take action, ready to fight for justice, or ready to fight for what he wants. I do feel that Vernon does see, or what like the impression that S.Coups has on Vernon is the hesitance before that fight. I'm seeing that with the Five of Wands, which that's not usually the way that I see the Five of Wands. So I do feel that this is very specific to them. So yeah, the way that Vernon sees S.Coups is the hesitance that comes with the fighter spirit that S.Coups has. The other thing, and this is a definition that I do have for the Five of Wands reversed, is that Vernon sees the internal conflicts that S.Coups has, and I do think that with all of this Wands energy, that could be one of the main connections, like that bridging point between both of them, that helps their connection, or that makes them have something in common, their internal conflicts, that could be. So the next card that we have is, how do they spend their time together? Doing nothing. I'm just kidding. I just saw the turtle and I was like, they do nothing. I was kidding. I'm kidding. So we have the turtle spirit, slow and steady wins the race. So remember how I said that they do nothing? I was half joking. With the turtle spirit, I do feel that when they're together, they like to spend the time very chill, very relaxed. They like to spend it in a way where they can just calm down and maybe be within their thoughts, maybe till like slowing each other down to take life one step at a time. So I do feel that when one of them feels out of place and when the other one feels stuck somehow, they like to kind of come together and create, like, center themselves again and ground themselves and be like, okay, what are your goals, how can you get there, type of energy. I do feel that the way that they like to spend their time together could be just sitting next to each other and enjoying the silence that they both bring, or having a very healthy conversation. I'm saying that because of the blue and the green. So I do feel that they may have a lot of talks where they can express how they feel and rely a lot of information with each other, because blue is all about your throat chakra, which is the chakra of communication. And since there's green, I do feel that there's this connection between the communication that comes from the heart, that type of energy. So I do feel that they like to spend their time together just talking about things that are very important to them, or things that they're currently struggling with. The other thing that I'm getting is, you know how turtles have this hard exterior and they're like, I get I'm going with the squishy organs in the inside. I said again because I said that in the previous video I just recorded. Anyway, so I just kind of remembered how someone on Twitter mentioned that the hard exteriors the turtles have are kind of like the rib cage. And then they kind of showed an illustration of how it would look like on humans. And that was like the grossest thing I've seen. But it was interesting and it looked cool. And very creative. And that's why I was kind of chuckling, like laughing to myself, just remembering that. And God, it's so weird to think about that. But, so when I was going with all of that, let me see if I remember now. It was supposed to be along the lines of like finding home, or being able to actually dig deep within their vulnerable side and kind of showing that out there with this turtle spirit. So what does S.Coups like about Vernon? My brain is just not working right now. We have the 8 of Wands. What does Vernon like about S.Coups? Okay, we have the 10 of Cups reversed. It's so funny, bro. Okay, so with S.Coups, what he likes about Vernon is this 8 of Wands energy, which is like this go-getter type of energy. Someone that doesn't hesitate, someone that is laser focused and just gets what they want, someone that just takes action and is very quick at just making things happen. So I do feel that it kind of makes sense with this Ace of Wands reverse. Like, the card that represents S.Coups here is someone that kind of struggles to have this new beginning, struggles to take action into new things. So I guess it makes sense that one of the things that he likes about Vernon is this 8 of Wands energy. Someone that is laser focused, putting all of their energy and all of their skills and all their time and effort into one specific goal. Because this card is supposed to represent how all the wands are going into one, all the energy is focused in one thing. However, this is weird, right? I feel that with Vernon, what he likes about S.Coups is like the potential that he has, and I guess the human aspect of his hesitance, I guess you could say. Because one of the things that Vernon likes about S.Coups is a 10 of Cups reversed. And usually when it's upright, it's a good card. So it being reversed is kind of like, what does that mean, you know? So I do feel that it's kind of, maybe. One of the things that Vernon likes about S.Coups is the fact that there's a bright future ahead of him. I do feel that S.Coups may not be aware of that or may not see it, but I do feel that Vernon is aware of the good things that could happen to S.Coups, and it is something that he really likes about him. Now, that's kind of weird to think about. It's like, because I do feel that Vernon sees all of the positive aspects that the 10 of Cups usually represents, which is emotional fulfillment and home and family, because that's usually what it shows right here. It shows like the parents right here and like the kids right here, so it's a family. However, the fact that it's reversed kind of shows that that energy is blocked, or like that energy has not been achieved yet. Like that's the goal, but you're not there yet. That's the type of energy that reversed cards tend to have sometimes. So I do feel that this one being reversed kind of shows that Vernon sees the potential and the gifts that life has to offer to S.Coups. However, I do feel that maybe S.Coups' lack of action or hesitance could be one of the reasons why he doesn't get all of those good things yet. But I do feel that Vernon really likes the bright future ahead of S.Coups, and that's what that 10 of Cups could potentially mean. Aside from that, I'm not too sure. Let's get on with the last 3 cards. So, what has S.Coups learned from Vernon? We have 3 cards. Should I take them? Should I take them? I'll take them. My rule breaker, S.Coups. He just said, you'll do what I say. Take 3 cards. And I'm like, yes, sir. I'll take 3 cards. And what has Vernon learned from S.Coups? Okay, we have the Knight of Swords. What? So, let's see. What has S.Coups learned from Vernon? We have the Empress, we have the King of Cups reversed, and the Ace of Pentacles. Those are decent cards, I guess. I don't know. So with this Empress card, we have that one of the things that S.Coups has learned from Vernon is how to be confident, how to see the beauty of life, because the Empress is a Venus card. I do feel that there's like this duality of being able to embrace his feminine side. So I do feel that one of the things Vernon has been able to help S.Coups is how to get a little bit more in tune with his creative side. Also how to get more in tune with that feminine side of emotions, but not quite there. It's kind of like, because we have the King of Cups reversed, so it's kind of like emotional maturity, but not quite. So I do feel that it kind of feels like Vernon may have laid out like this blueprint on how to work with like your emotions type of thing, but S.Coups may not have been able to implement that yet, or maybe Vernon himself has not been able to apply that information for himself. You know, those times that we know things but we don't really do them. Like, let's say this is very simple, very simplified, very like I guess basic example. Let's say you know that you need to clean your house if you want to be able to walk around and see your floor again, but you don't want to do it because you are either lazy, you're procrastinating, or it's too much work. So that's kind of like that thing. You know how to do it, you know you have to do it, but it's not easy to start and make that happen. So I do feel that this is like the type of energy that's going on with this King of Cups. Is like Vernon could have laid out this blueprint on how to be mature and use your emotions in a creative way of expressing it, using it in a way that will be healing and will be useful and helpful. But that doesn't mean that both of them are quite there because of that King of Cups. I do feel that this could show that Vernon may not be fully aware of how to use that blueprint in his favor. He just may know that that's a thing. You know, there's many things that we know but we don't do, right? And so I feel that could be the case. The other card that we got was the Ace of Pentacles. So I do feel that one of the things that S.Coups learned from Vernon is how to start slow and steady, because the Ace of Pentacles, again, an ace is a new beginning, a new chapter, a new project, but this is a long-lasting project. So I do feel that Vernon may have taught S.Coups how to see far and beyond and have like a bigger plan. So it's not like, okay, what will help me now? It's more like, what will help me like 10 years from now? So it's like looking far ahead type of energy. So I do feel that with this Ace of Pentacles, one of the things that S.Coups also learned from Vernon was how to ground himself and how to be stable and how to do like the slow and steady wins the race type of energy. So there's a lot of being able to use your emotions in a creative way, being able to do that also to create this steady path forward. Now, the thing that Vernon learned from S.Coups is this Knight of Swords. So I do feel that because of this hesitance that S.Coups has to take action, maybe the only way that S.Coups can get anything done is by pure impulse. Just be like, oh, forget it. Let's just go and do it, right? Whatever I'm afraid of, we'll forget that. Let's just move forward. So that's like the type of reckless energy the Knight of Swords usually carries. However, the imagery used in this card shows a more relaxed and peaceful Knight of Swords. So this is Gemini energy, being able to communicate properly. So I do feel that, but more of a superficial way. I'm saying superficial, not with a negative connotation. I mean superficial in the sense that it makes sense to the general world type of, mentality. I do feel that one of the things that Vernon could have learned from S.Coups is how to communicate his ideas in a way that makes sense to other people. Because I do feel that one of the problems or one of the struggles that Vernon may have sometimes is that he knows how to talk to himself and he knows how to communicate with himself, but he doesn't know how to translate that in a way that makes sense to other people that are not in his head, if that makes sense. So like when you have like an inside joke, like Vernon is good at having those jokes, that that inside knowledge, but he doesn't explain the context to other people, so then other people just don't really understand him. I feel that could be one of the things that S.Coups is like helping Vernon with in the relationship. Like Vernon is slowly learning from S.Coups how to effectively communicate with other people that may not be on the same page as you, that type of energy. So I think that's very good. Also with that Knight of Swords, I do feel that S.Coups may bring a lot of new knowledge to Vernon sometimes, because that Gemini energy is someone that's constantly thinking, someone that's constantly observing information and fun facts, and it's a very quick type of energy. So this is kind of like daily news or like hot topics or trends. So I do feel that maybe when they start talking to each other, Vernon can learn a lot of things from S.Coups that will help with the knowledge and wisdom eventually for Vernon. If that makes sense, like S.Coups is helping Vernon grow his database, his mental database. Now, one last card, which is my favorite question: why did Vernon and S.Coups meet? We have the frog spirit, clear out the clutter. So I guess I'm not surprised, right? The type of dynamic that they have kind of does end up in this card. With the frog spirit, we have clear out the clutter. So I do feel that the type of relationship that they have is to help both of them heal by having this period of stability and peace and harmony. So I do feel that they both like to spend their time together just talking about it, being vulnerable with each other and just talk about the difficulties that they carry, kind of get out of their shell a little bit. I do think that they may have a couple of things in common, or since they're very different, one is Aquarius, another one's a Leo, opposite signs. When you have opposite signs, you can complement each other very well because you see things so different that even though you have similar goals, you have very different approaches to life, and that can create a very nice harmony of balance. However, when you have opposing sides, you could also have signs that are constantly clashing against each other, and you just don't understand each other. You don't get along. But with them, I think it's actually the first one. What does it call it? It's not the ladder. It's the forward, or whatever the hell that's called. Which is basically they both understand each other very well, even though they see things very differently and they have very different approaches, and that could help them balance out and be in harmony. And that's why we have clear out the clutter. So what do they mean? Just to help each other out. We do have a lot of green, so they're helping each other find comfort in their heart space. We have blue, so they're learning how to communicate. And it seems like they both really treasure their communication, so whatever it is that they communicate is something that will definitely benefit both of them a lot in their growth as individuals. So yeah, I'll leave that there. That is our last question. So I hope that you guys really enjoyed this reading. I thought it was very interesting, and I did find it kind of interesting, the new meanings that we had with these reversals. Thank you, Vernon's energy. I don't know. But yeah, I hope you found this entertaining, or you learned something from it, or at least had a little bit of fun watching this video. I definitely found it very interesting to read for both of them. I do feel that there's this very deep understanding between both of them, and a very treasured connection that they both have, even though it doesn't feel like this is a superficial type of friendship. I do feel that they may not see each other as friends, but more as like some sort of support that you just can't describe. It's more than a simple superficial friendship that people may usually think of when they think of friends. But I do feel that they're not superficially close. Like, I can't explain what I'm feeling, but it's kind of like they have this deep connection that they both rely on and support each other and heal themselves through, but they don't have a physical relationship that can be seen tangibly as our collective idea of friendship, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'll leave that there before I confuse myself trying to explain this. You know, when you over explain yourself and then it makes less and less sense as you keep going. Yeah, you know, when you hit the foundation and the fundamentals of something, there's no need to go deeper. You know what I mean. And if you don't, that's fine. Stay confused. So yeah, I'll leave that there. Love and healing from my part to you, and see you on the next one, whenever that is, however that is. Thank you for watching, and bye.